Why man needed the Messiah. In Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 and 27, we read that God created man, male and female in his own image and likeness. Bless them to be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over all the earth, including over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, over the cattle, over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. This can be referred in Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 to 30. Moreover, Genesis chapter 2, verses 8 and 15 also reveals that God put the man in a garden, eastward in Eden, to dress it and to keep it. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. This can be referred in Genesis chapter 1, verse 31. Prophet Isaiah reveals in Isaiah chapter 43, verse 7 that God created man for his glory, and the book of Revelation chapter 4, verse 11 says that all things were created for his pleasure. And time to time God also visited or walked in the garden. This can be referred in Genesis chapter 3, verse 8. In Genesis chapter 2, verses 16 to 17, we read, "And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die." This reveals that the death that is sin had not entered into the world before the fall of the man. Fall of the man. In Genesis chapter 3, verses 6 and 7 we read, "And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, which indicates the lust of flesh, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, which indicates the lust of eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, which indicates the pride of life, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her. And he did eat. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. The man disobeyed God, and death, that is sin, entered into the world." God's effort to save the man. First, Lord God made coats of skins, causing bloodshed, and clothed them. This can be referred in Genesis chapter 3, verse 21. Second, Lord God sent man forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken, which can be referred in Genesis chapter 3, verse 23. And third, Lord God drove out the man, and placed at the east of the Garden of Eden, and put cherubims with a flaming sword which turned every way, to keep the way of the tree of life, to eat and live forever, which can be referred in Genesis chapter 3, verses 22 and 24. Initially, man needed the Messiah for his restoration or regeneration in the image and likeness of God. But as time passed, man went on sinning and went away from him. But God never gave up on believing on man. God made covenants with man that Messiah will fulfill all his promises that he had made to man. Therefore, now God foresee that his man needed the Messiah who will save, judge, and rule over the man, the nation Israel, and all nations that his entire world.